My name is Paul Byer. I'm with GA Insights and sitting down with Cindy. So Cindy, tell us who you are and then we'll start this conversation.
Yeah, Cindy Howson, Chief Data and AI Strategy Officer at ThoughtSpot, an agentic analytics platform, and host of the Data Chief podcast.
Obviously, AI is everywhere. I think you're practicing malpractice if you're executive not focusing on this. Yet we see so many companies lagging in their efforts that the possibility of AI, of what's real is out here, where the organization's here. What are you seeing in your work that explains that, and what can companies do?
Yeah, similarly. So there's leaders and laggards. There always has been. But I think what's happening, the gap is getting wider and the ability to catch up more difficult. So I have the privilege of working with some of the most iconic companies in the world. They definitely are at the cutting edge of AI. I think some of the things that allowed that is they were early to digital transformation, early to cloud, so they put in all the foundation that has allowed them to accelerate AI. The laggards are really held back by a lot of technical debt, and it shows a culture of fear, resistance to change, and no plan for the impact on people.
Share more about what you're seeing on the leaders. So the infrastructure that's more modern, so that's helping them. Is there a mindset or compensation or a push by investors? What are the attributes of these leaders?
Well, there definitely is a mindset. And this is where I often say culture and technology are two sides of the same coin. Show me tech debt, and it's a negative culture. Show me an agentic AI in production, and you have a culture of a not impossible mindset and permission for small failures. So experimentation is key. What's motivating them? I often say it's going to be the head and the heart. The head, there's a business justification. How do we make more money or save money so that we can win the market? The heart will be, well, what's my career impact? How do I bring people along on the journey? And so that has to happen at both levels.
And if we role play, I'm the CFO. This is a great presentation, Cindy, but we're running a business here. I need to see the ROI. Our payback's 12 to 18 months. Let's not do anything until we have real payback here.
Yeah, well, so Paul, you and I have seen the headlines of ROI, and I'm going to quote a survey from, it was sponsored by Google, who of course has an incentive to say the good of AI, but 88% show positive ROI. It should not be 12 to 18 months, but that depends on what plumbing you've already put in. It really should be a matter of weeks if your data is ready. If your data is not ready, it's kind of like you have to lay the foundation for your house first.
Should I organize as a company? Is this out of CIO? Should I have a center of excellence? Are you seeing trends in the leaders and how they organize that would also be clues for aspirational companies?
Yeah, so you want both. You want a hybrid model. You want centralization for governance, not the slowest, least common denominator. So when I say governance, it might be policies around bring your own model, or none of your prompts or your data goes to the public cloud. And then the hybrid is let each business unit, because each business will be at a different level of maturity. If I take, I'm going to take healthcare as an example, or retail CPG. Supply chain and marketing might be further ahead in their maturity than, say, finance. And so let them run as fast as they can, but with the guardrails set out by the central team.
We have seen a lot of talk about how to position this to investors. Do you have advice on, everyone's got a checkbox now?
Yeah.
You know, is it benchmarking? Is it, how should I show my investors that we are achieving top quartile or, first half type of performance?
Yeah, and so this is where I think it's so AI is just another tool in the toolbox. So it's really, what is your business strategy? That's what investors want to know. And where does AI fit within that? And then they also want to know, what is the impact on your workforce?
ThoughtSpot's fortunate to have so many customers that are visionary in production doing stuff. Can you share one or two stories that are representative of this leadership pack? Yeah.
Yes, and so I'll take one that is spoken also at your conference. So WEX, they have a complex portfolio. They do benefits, fleet management. So they are definitely doing cool things. I'll also mention Macquarie Bank, for example. And they have replaced dashboard developers with really generative AI specialists. And everyone from the leadership down to the frontline workers, they will use ThoughtSpot and agentic AI on their mobile phone or embedded. As we're in Switzerland, I would have to mention Roche in life sciences, another iconic brand, Sephora, another iconic brand, even startups. So perhaps I shouldn't call Navan Travel a startup anymore, as they recently IPO'd, but they help me get here. They help many startup companies and businesses manage their travel. And what powers the alerts behind that, if you booked a last minute ticket, or if I'm out of my CFO's range, of which I was for this, then alert comes through, and that's coming through ThoughtSpot.
We're sitting in the beautiful day at Davos here, in this Imagination and Action Day. What surprised you? What are the two things you've really picked up today that you're noting and taking back with you?
Yes, and so I did live in Switzerland many years ago. I used to come here to ski. This is my first time here for the World Economic Forum. It's almost like a large trade show. You can walk down the street. I see the Anthropic House. I see the Snowflake House, the Imagination in Action. So there's a lot of discussions and content. It's not just about world hunger, global peace, and Greenland, not to be negative, but there's a lot of that. But it's also AI for humanity. You had the leader of Mumbai in India talk about opening a new innovation hub. You had will.i.am talking about how we need personal intelligence and why are we giving away so much of our data. So I had no idea that there was that breadth of sponsors and people here. And then walking down the street, it's just who you see. You know, I bumped into Andrew Eng, of course, bumped into you, bumped into Kate from Datacated. It's kind of a who's who.
We have, you've been thinking about this space for a while. At least for me, I'm never in a conversation with executives where it doesn't eventually get to children. What do I do about my kids and grandkids? What's your thoughts on this AI moment that just feels like it's going faster? We've got May graduation coming up in a lot of colleges. We might be looking at a lot less seats for a lot of college grads this year.
Yeah, and so I care a lot about educating the next generation and making sure they're ready. So that's also why I've partnered with ThoughtSpot's support as well with the Mark Cuban Foundation, the AI boot camps. You might want to edit this out, but it was hysterical. Yeah. The first year, the high schoolers were asking me, who's Mark Cuban? Yeah. And I had to ask them, who's will.i.am? Because that was our host presenters on the first boot camp in Atlantic City about 5 years ago. And the skills that these high schoolers bring, it is amazing. They are building websites already to solve like food supply chain issues or health and fitness. And I would ask them, why did they choose Claude Code over Cursor? And they could answer it. So I think formal education takes a while to catch up. The curriculum is less flexible. Everyone has to take it on themselves to learn. I also partner with Gen AI Works. They are one of the largest hands-on education at the cutting edge. So I think everyone has to invest in their own skills, but do not outsource your critical thinking. I don't even outsource writing as a writer. I'll outsource making pictures, but think about the skills that you want to retain that is the difference maker.
So speaking of writing, we all using these tools in different ways. What have you found for your personal workflows that's been impressive or you rely on?
Well, definitely the image making, but I use it as a way of role playing. So I will use AI as a trusted advisor and will ask it certain questions. Or, so this gets a little deeper, but a hot topic, top trend, is semantic layers and ontologies and knowledge graphs. And so I don't let it write for me. I will say, I'm trying to explain semantic layer and ontologies to somebody in insurance. Here's how I've explained it. Where do I have it right? Where do I have it wrong? Yeah.
It's a translation of a topic to a certain target audience language and
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And even so, as a podcast host, we do drink our own champagne at ThoughtSpot. I was asking Spotter this week, compare my podcast listener stats with other top podcasts. How are we doing? What are the things I should do to increase the listenership? It was mind-blowing what it came back with.
And Spotter, what is Spotter?
Spotter is ThoughtSpot's AI agent.
Okay.
It's more than conversational analytics. It will explain why and tell you how to take action. And it is an agent against your trusted corporate data with no hallucinations.
Okay. So customers of ThoughtSpot can take advantage of this. I mean, just can the audience use Spotter?
Yes, so the audience can use it. We have a free trial. And this is kind of a passion project of our CEO, but Citizen Spot, taking public data sets. And of course, I want to work with my daughter on marine science. What is the impact on the increasing temperatures of our oceans, on whales and dolphins? So you can take any data set and use Spotter on it.
Fantastic. So as we wrap up, this thing's moving so fast. What are you seeing, Cindy, that you know that most of the people watching this don't know? What's something that the people who are fighting up the learning curve should know, or something you know now you wish you knew 12 months ago?
I'm a constant learner. I listen to, okay, if you don't subscribe to his newsletter, you're totally missing out.
Very kind.
Yes,
Thank you.
no. He ranks it, what's essential and what's nice to read. I don't know. I would just say this is something that will impact business and humanity. And who do you want to be in charge of making those decisions? If you only leave it up to the tech companies, I think that will be a mistake because some have low ethics and it's only about money. So be careful what you do. Learn when is your data being used and use AI as a partner. So, and try the different tools. Don't default just to ChatGPT just because that's what gets the headlines. I personally use Claude. Others will use Perplexity. But keep abreast of how the foundational models are changing and watch the Stanford HAI benchmarks because I think they put up really good benchmarks around bias and safety precautions.